Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello students, how are you doing? I hope that everything is fine. Well, today we will learn about reading speed technique. Here we will discuss about the history, the terms and word per minute, and then the causes of slow reading and the reason and how to speed your reading. There will be speed reading concept and method that I will explain, and then the way to improve your speed reading. After that, is there any special time to speed up your reading? And the next will be speed reading criticism. So let us see about Jeremy's story. So Jeremy is reaching information overload in his head. He has to present a report actually to his manager tomorrow at noon. But unfortunately, he has got a stack of information to read through, and the clock is ticking or limited. So everyone, here speed reading will help you to absorb the information quickly and effectively. And the next we will also consider the pros and the cons of speed reading. There will be the discussion about time which is appropriate to use and the effect that it can have on understanding. Talking about his story, she is Evelyn Nielsen Woods. She was one of the pioneers of speed reading. So she stated that she could read up to 2,700 words per minute if she swept up a finger along the line as she read. Wow, it's amazing. And a researcher, and she also school teacher. She was committed to understanding why some people were naturally faster at reading and tried to force herself to read very quickly. So in 1958, while brushing off the pages of the book she had thrown down in despair, she discovered that the sweeping motion of her hands across the page caught the attention of her eyes and helped them move more smoothly across the page. She then used the hand as the pacer. And here are some terms you need to understand first about speed reading technique. So actually speed reading, it is the process of rapidly recognizing and absorbing the phrases or the sentences you find in the reading passage or a text or a magazine, newspaper, novel, etc., rather than identifying the individual words. So it is any of several techniques used to improve one's ability to read quickly and involve chunking and minimizing subfocalization. Maybe you are asking, what are chunking and subfocalization? So chunking, let us see. That code should tell you the security code to their house as he and mom are away for the weekend and you are meant to house it. You wrote it on a sheet of paper which flew out the window on the highway. But as Dad was still residing at code 65278523889, you mentally grouped the long strings of digits into smaller, easier to remember chunks of the information. Maybe 65278523889 is much easier to remember than when you remember those numbers in a row. Maybe you can give another example. And then a process by which individual pieces of information are bound together into the meaningful whole. So that's chunking. What about subfocalization? It is also familiar as the auditory reassurance. It is very usual habit among readers, which involves saying words in your head while reading. So it is one of the main reasons why people read slowly and have trouble improving their reading speed, because they saying the words when they are reading. What about WPM, or words per minute? So just imagine you are reading a passage of 1000 words in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So how to calculate the words per minute? Yeah, the first you only just to change the time 2 seconds for example. Yeah, then everyone, how to calculate words per minute? Yeah, just simple. You just imagine that you are reading a passage of for about 10,000 or 1,000 words in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. First, you need to change the time to seconds, for example, 140 seconds. After that, divide the 1,000 by 140 equals 7.14. After that, you can multiply it by 60 seconds. So the total will be 428.57. So the answer will be 429 words per minute. After that, you can assess your result. If the result is less than 120, it means that your status or speed reading is very poor or slow. Meanwhile, for 121 until 110, you will be in a below average category, and you will be in average if your speed reading is between 181 until 240. While if it is 241 until 350, it should be in a college level if in a good retention, and you will be categorized as the above average speed reading if you reach 351 until 500 per minute. And the last, not the last, but if your reading speed are between 501 until 1000, you will be called as the superior, and you will be categorized as genius if it is more than 1000. So let us see why some people they have a slow reading. First one, they usually say word by word in reading. Second one, slow perceptual reaction time, for example, slowness of recognition. The next, vocalization. Yeah, these are some ways that are used by the common people as the habits, for comprehension. And then they also, cannot use the eye movement efficiently. The next is regression. For example, the need to skip back and reread the sentences. It's only wasting time. And faulty habits of attention concentration. The next is they can be lack of the practice in reading, especially large amounts. You need to read sometimes novel or not only the short story but any other thick books. The next causes is fear of losing comprehension, and then habitual slow reading, or evaluation of which aspects are important and thus note. So there is no consideration, there is no decision in which part they should speed up the reading and to slow the reading. And the next is the effort to remember everything rather than to remember selectively. There are some reasons why you need to speed up your reading technique. The first is that it can save your time. So by saving the time, you can do another activities, and then have time to complete our routine, reading like newspaper or magazine, and have time for other literatures or documents. You can also have a greater efficiency if you have this speed reading technique, namely to better cope with the demands of the modern business to become an efficient employee. And it also can broaden your horizon by putting within our reach a greater range of variety of information. It can be effective speaking that enables a person to gather speedily the material needed for public speaking or conversation. And the current, maybe you can keep you up to date with the development in one's fields. And mental tonic, not only brushing up our knowledge, exercising our intellect, and keeping us mentally on our toes. And the others, maybe you can, it can help in preparing for exam, helps improve our understanding related to reading passage. So here are some steps you can apply when you want to have ability in speed reading. The first one is you need to avoid pronouncing and hearing each word in your head as you read it, a process known as sub-vocalization, so you need to avoid it. And instead you skim lines or groups of words, as you can understand words more quickly than you can say them. So you just focus on the blocks of words rather than the individual one. Do this by relaxing your face and softening or expanding your gaze on the page so that you stop seeing words as a single distinct units. As you practice this, your eyes will skip faster across the page. What about the concept? Yeah, so if you still remember about our undergraduate reading techniques, they are skimming and scanning. There is also meta guiding. So skimming is reading a text quickly to get the general idea of the meaning. So when you read an essay, it can mean reading the beginning and ending for the summary information, or the first sentence of each paragraph to quickly determine whether to seek still more detail as determined by the purpose of the reading. So you need the skimming technique. And about conducted at a higher rate, speed reading concept also conducted at a higher rate, for example 700 or above. The normal reading for comprehension is about 200 until 230 WPM. So traffic is slower comprehension for information rich material. The next technique is about scanning. So this reading technique, the purpose is to get the specific information that we read. Scanning is the process where one actively looks for information using mind map form from skimming. Mind map, now you need to know, is a diagram used to visualize information. So mind map is a hierarchical and shows relationships among pieces of the whole. Yeah, these are the example. And there is the term of meta guiding, namely the visual guiding of the eye using the finger or pointer, such as a band, in order for an eye to move faster along the length of the passage of the text. So you need a pencil or pens to make your reading faster than before. Okay, there are several methods actually in speed reading. The first one is the pointer method, or we call it as the meta guiding, or sometimes called as hand passing. So teacher Evelyn Wood claimed that she could read up to 2,700 WPM if she swept a finger along the line as she read, holding a card under each line and driving it down the page as you read works just as well. Second method is a tracker and passer method. So this is a variant of the pointer method. Actually it's similar, but it's a little bit different, where you hold a band with its cap still on and underline or track each line as you read it, keeping your eye above the tip of the pen. Whether you actually underline the words is your choice. So this method only helps you to increase the pace at which you take in each line and improve your focus on the words. The next method will be scanning or reviewing method. So it involves moving your eyes quickly down the page, often down the center, and identifying specific words and phrases as you go. So this technique can be key sentences, often the first sentences of each paragraph, names, numbers, trigger, words, and ideas. By this reading technique, so learning becomes to expand to your peripheral vision that can help with this. So you don't need to read every word. So you just drop your eye on the land, on what is important to allow you to grasp the basic idea of the text. Yeah, maybe you need a mind map to organize the information you take in. What about the way how to improve your speed reading? Yeah, actually there are some tips and tricks in order to improve your speed reading. First is you need to avoid distraction. Sometimes when you are reading, there are many things that distract your attention. like the voice, the noise, and the situation around you. So just create the environment where there are as few interruption and distraction as possible. That's why you need a silent place to focus when you are reading. And then go easy. What is the meaning? Namely, just read an uncomplicated novel or a simple online article to get a feel of which technique is going to work best for you. The next will be cover words that you have already read. This helps you to stop your eyes bleeding back to early words and slowing down your reading. And then just make sure that you have already know what you want, what you are looking for from the text. Yeah. And don't forget to benchmark your progress. So this way you can tell whether your practice is paying off. There are many free speed reading assessment online, such as readingsoft.com, readingonline.com. And the next is practice, practice, and practice. You need a lot of practice speed reading to get good at it. So the more you train yourself, the more natural it will feel. And recap the key points. So there are different techniques that you can use to improve your reading speed. All of them involve skimming a page rather than self-vocalizing such words you were likely taught at school. Excellent speed reading involves practice and retraining yourself. But it's important to strike the right balance between speed and comprehension. Ya, jangan lupa speednya diatur, jangan sampai terlalu cepat, tapi juga pastikan bahwa Anda paham. Sometimes speed reading is not appropriate or helpful. Now the time, how? In what time or when we should speed up our reading technique? Yeah, so effective speed reading is a balance between pace and comprehension. The faster you read, the less information you take in, particularly when it comes to remembering the detail. So speed reading is clearly not the answer if you are reading a complex technical document. However, when you need to understand only the basic arguments or conclusion being presented, tough using a speed reading technique is the best. This may also be the case if you intend to go back and read something more slowly when you are less busy. So there is a study suggested that skimming a text can improve your comprehension the second time around. Talking about speed reading criticism, in short, speed reading anything you need to truly comprehend is probably a bad idea. Don't try it. However, if you have a few documents need to get through, or you are reading something that detail or specific attention is not needed, these methods can still be worthwhile. Some speed reading claims can be tossed aside immediately. Claims that you can read a book as fast as you can flip through a phone book are completely impossible on anatomical and neurological levels. It is simply not possible to comprehend what you're reading and avoiding using that inner voice. So reading faster means being able to use this inner voice faster, not eliminating it. Further to that, expert speed readers who were studied also sub-vocalize. They just did it faster. Yeah, here is the evidence clear. Sub-vocalization is necessary to read well. So for tips on a better reading speed, you can start to skim before you read. Yeah, we have already learned about skimming, normally covering the text too fast to read everything fully. Yeah. The second one is improve your fluency in improving your speed. So fluent recognition of words was one of the major slowing points for readers. And the next choice will be sub-vocalization. That mythical nemesis of speech readers, slower or unfamiliar words. If you want to speed up reading, learning to recognize words faster seems to improve your reading speed. And the next tip, you should decide that you have already know what you want before you read it. Yeah, because part of the reason skimming first might appear to help is that it allows you to map out the document. Knowing how an article or book is structured, then it allows you to pay more attention to the things you think are important. Yeah, the fourth reading tip, try to deeper processing tasks to improve retention. So some way you don't want to speed at all, you want near full comprehension. For example, when you were in a school, you need to read most textbook in a way that I could retain nearly every fact and idea in encountered author. It's not just full comprehension you want, but long-term memory of the information. You could also take sports, paraphrase notes, or rewrite factual information you want to remember as an answer to self-quiz later. Yeah, so everyone, those are the explanation about reading speed. So this technique is very important. But just remember that when you try to comprehend the details, information, you don't need to use this technique. So you should know first what you want, what information you want to know from the text or from the reading text. So everyone, I think that's all for today's lesson about speed reading. If you still have any questions related to this technique, you can ask in the forum of Scalza. Thank you very much for time today. Bila Qadiyah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.